Hello, and welcome to the Bond Revisited podcast with me, Tom.
And me, Joe.
After watching and ranking every James Bond film, we're now keeping up with all the latest Bond news, hoping one day to see the return of sweaty Sean. So, we're not actually talking about Bond 26. I think, was the last one we did about Bond 26?
It was. Was it just like the roundup of where we were at with Bond 26 news?
Yeah, and I don't think we've had any since, have we?
Not apart from the usual, every now and then there's a news story about who the next Bond will be, but nothing really substantial.
Yeah, that's just rumours, right?
Wasn't there one thing, was it at the BAFTAs or some award ceremony where Amazon was present, the TV studio bit or the film studio side of them, and there was someone there who did give a very, very brief statement about Bond and how the Bond 26 is going, and it was basically along the lines of, we're taking our time, so... Nothing new there.
No surprise.
For Bond fans.
No surprise, yeah.
Exactly.
So we're not going to talk about Bond 26. I just came up with this, by the way, this line, so wait for it.
Oh.
We're not going to talk about Bond 26. We're going to talk about Bond who looks 26.
Oh! You don't get that in the
okay.
Bond podcast. That witty banter right there.
Exactly. Wow. Exactly. There we go. And of course, when I say Bond who looks 26, we're talking about a younger Bond, and we're talking about First Light once again. Because, I mean, I guess I would like to say a lot has happened since we last talked about the game, but not really, right? Like, a lot has happened in the last month up to, as part of the release, but we did have that big period where we didn't really hear much at all.
Yeah. Which, I mean, for me personally, that was fine, because it's just like, it's ticking over in the background. But now that we have all the promotional stuff coming out, oh, it's good. It is nice. It's nice just to see Bond not in the news, because Bond is always in the news to an extent, but like this sort of stage where it's like, it's just about to come out. There's lots of buzz, there's lots of hype, lots of promotional stuff. You're hearing the Bond theme and all the trailers and everything. It's great. I love it.
Yes, it's definitely... So what this episode is going to be basically is a hype check between me and Joe. We're so close now. Is it less than 2 weeks or is it 2 weeks? I guess it depends if you pre-ordered or not and got the digital upgrade.
Ooh.
But it's about 2 weeks away. I think a week and a half by the time this goes out. So it's just seeing like, are we excited? Because we had reservations, or at least I know I did. I think you were a little bit more excited. Like you were what? Because I think I got us to rate it out of 10, our levels of excitement for it.
Yeah, that's
right. I want to say you were an 8.
I think I was an 8. That sounds right.
Then I think I was like a 6 or a 7, which is not bad.
No.
That's not bad at all. So we're kind of checking in. But I guess, before we get to that point, there was this big period where there wasn't much. And I was getting a little frustrated by that. Okay. I know you just said that you were okay with that, and that totally makes sense. I do totally agree. It's like, well, I know I'm going to play the new Bond game, so I don't really need to know every little detail, and I don't want everything to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I had this really weird feeling with it, where they revealed so much. We had the big gameplay trailer, we had the big gameplay reveal, we had like extended looks at the game, and then I would say there were very real issues with that. There was very real concerns. While overall it was a positive reception, there was negativity there. And then we got like 6 months of nothing. And that made me quite concerned. So I guess in terms of like wanting something more during that time, it was less about, oh, tell me every little detail, or I need to be force fed all this stuff constantly. It was more like, okay, guys, you put out this stuff. The driving doesn't look great. The performance isn't great. The action's very messy. It's very Hitman, which is kind of cool, but where's the Bond element? And I just kind of wanted that to be addressed, but It kind of wasn't for like 6 months. And then also during that time, they of course delays the game by 2 months. So to be honest, before we got to this period in the last month or so when they've started to really hype things up and build it up again, I'll be honest, I was actually kind of concerned, and I was getting like less excited for the game as time went on, because it's like, well, this game's coming out really soon and you've already shown a lot, and there were some concerns with that. I kind of need something. I need something more to kind of address those concerns, and also the fact that it's coming out so soon. So to me, that was a little bit of a red flag for about a few months there.
When you say you need a little bit more, are you saying that you would have wanted them to maybe the stereotypical text on a white text on a background social media post about something like, oh, we've heard your opinion, we've heard your feedback, and we're addressing these concerns. Would you have wanted something like from them to say, we're working on what you saw, and trying to make you feel a little bit more assured?
I think that would have helped for sure. I was kind of more thinking maybe another trailer of, okay, with the racing bit or the driving bit, it didn't look great.
Yeah.
So here's a short scene from a different part of the game where those concerns have been addressed, right? Where it's like, it is feeling more impactful. It is less automated. It is more exciting. It is more of that rush. So I wouldn't want to reveal a ton more of the game, but if they showed like an extra section where it's like, okay, it runs well, the performance is good, and it's a more exciting engagement section, then that for me would be enough, right? Because it would show like they're listening, they're kind of seeing what's going on, but also they're showing more of the game, and also it's like, oh no, actually they do kind of get it, and this is addressing those concerns. So that for me is probably what I was looking for, but some sort of like acknowledgement of the problems would have been really useful. But yeah, just like a short bit of gameplay, maybe like a few months after the fact, just to show that they are working on it and they're using that extra time to address problems that people raised.
Yeah. It's funny because actually, I saw it was either a tweet or a Blue Sky or whatever they're on, and it was almost like a bit of a self-dig. It said something along the lines of, it was like them quoting what people were saying back in September, and it was like 007 FPS is what you said in September, and then there's like, we're proud to say it's going to be running at 60 FPS on PS5, blah 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 blah. So yeah, like they're clearly aware, and it's like they've got now got to the stage of being able to joke about it, because I guess they've addressed the issues and the performance problems. But yeah, I guess there was a big gap where there was nothing in there. So I can see, especially for like, you're definitely more of a, I've said this before, you're more of a gamer than I am by far.
That's me, official gamer
for life, and definitely more technical as well. Like I feel like you actually pay attention to things where I'm just like, oh, that looks fun. So I can see why that would probably affect you a bit, having radio silence in that regard.
But yeah, it was just the radio silence. So I kind of want to prove my point here, just because, this stuff is going to be so irrelevant in a couple of weeks. We're not going to be talking about the pre-release stuff. We are just going to talk about the game, which is awesome. But where I was looking here is the First Light YouTube channel, because that's where they put out their trailers and their stuff. So I'm just going to go through everything they've uploaded as of late to kind of just prove my point. Not that you don't believe me, Joe. Of course you do.
Oh, yeah.
But here we go. So we had the gameplay reveal, the big 35-minute. That happened 8 months ago. The next video was then Gemma Chan announcement.
Okay.
So that's a minute long, which is just showing off someone in the thing.
Is that like a famous video game voice actor?
Absolutely no idea.
Okay, great.
I'm sure she's lovely.
Yep.
And then the next one is gameplay reactions, which is just people reacting. I'm guessing these are probably influencers. I don't know. But people reacting to the gameplay. That's like a 2-minute video. Very nice. The next one is then Q Branch Omega Watch, which is them just showing off the watch.
Gotta get the Omegas in there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this next one is now 6 months ago. So 2 months has passed. Brazilian Portuguese language update. Going to be in there, which again, fine. The next one, Aston Martin Valhalla reveal. So the car, which again isn't nothing, but like this is like the watch, right? Where it's just branding stuff.
Yeah,
so it's not nothing, but it's a brand deal. It was what you're announcing. So there's that. And then we get Beyond the Light Episode 1 gameplay dev diary, which is I think one of the developers, of course, talking about the gameplay, which is cool, but I don't need to hear someone talking about it. I'm kind of like, I'm glad they uploaded that stuff, but it's not an announcement. It's not showing anything off. It's not addressing the concerns. It's just someone talking about the game. So cool extra thing, but not cutting it. And then we get 5 months ago where Lenny Kravitz.
Hell yeah.
Announcement, which I think we've already talked about. Don't care.
Oh.
It's not gameplay. It was just a cutscene. And now we have NVIDIA PC Dev Diary. So that's someone from NVIDIA talking about, I don't know, GeForce or something. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then we have story trailer. Here we go. 3 months ago, they announced, here's a story trailer. As far as I'm aware, that has all the same footage we've already seen, just cut together a bit differently to show off the story. Like Iceland, that stuff.
Okay.
I feel like I should skip ahead. We got Lenny Kravitz extended cut.
Yeah.
We then have another dev diary. We then have another video path tracing video. We then have another dev diary. We then have the limited edition DualSense controller, and then we get to the First Light song being released. And that is a period of like 7 months. And that's what got announced on the official channel.
I mean, when you put it like that, it sounds like a lot. I'm not going to lie.
No, Joe, no. Don't contradict me here.
I know that's not what you wanted me to say. But you listing out all that stuff, I was like, I didn't even know half that stuff was on there, to be honest.
Well, it's in, like, face value, it's very cool. Like, it's cool that they're making the dev diaries. It's cool that we're getting all these little extra things. But it wasn't really... It was brand deals, dev diaries, and it felt like to me anything but showing off the game. Like anything but showing off any new content of the game. And it felt to me like they were hiding it because they still needed to make a big marketing push. But if they don't want to show off the game, what do you talk about? Well, the watch. Well, let's have some of the developers talk about it. We've got this Lenny Kravitz cutscene, I guess. So it's not like nothing was out there, but nothing substantial in my eyes. Again, it was about the gameplay for me. And we just had this big period of they were willing to show off so much in September and then nothing, even though it was meant to come out in March at some point.
So do you think if you're putting on your tinfoil hat time, do you think there was probably more planned in this space of time, but they've had to address things and therefore shuffled things around and readjusted what they were willing to show beforehand?
I think it's a mix of they were rushing the game to hit March because of GTA.
Yeah.
Let's just get that out of the way. GTA was meant to come out in May, which meant James Bond had to come out before May. GTA got delayed. They were rushing. They gave themselves 2 extra months. Very sensible. But their marketing plan would have been around March, and now suddenly they've got 2 extra months. So that's 2 extra months that's being added where they don't really have anything.
Yeah.
But also, I think because they were rushing, the game was in a poor state. I do think that they had to go through this period of like bug fixing and polishing and stuff. Like I think they did, if I get the tinfoil hat, I think they were deliberately not showing the game because they needed to get it where it needed to be, and it just was in a poor state. And what we saw was a specific tailored demo, basically like an E3 demo, but that they finished and polished up to get it in as good state as possible to then reveal the game. But in terms of like the rest of the game, it was probably a disaster. It was probably a complete mess. But the fact that they've announced like the performance is going to be 60 FPS on PlayStation 5 sounds like it's in a good place, but I think they needed that extra time to fill that in. And then I think the third thing is just like they are trying to market this like a film.
Yeah.
Like they are just trying to market this like a Bond film. So we get Lenny Kravitz as like an announcement by itself, which for a Bond film, you'd be like, oh, they're one of the villains in the film. And that's a famous known face. That's pretty cool. Or that's like an interesting thing. And it's not that it isn't interesting for First Light. It's just not as relevant because it's like a gameplay. Like it's just not as relevant because it's a game. And then also the brand marketing stuff. Like we had Coke. We got James Bond Coke. Have you had a James Bond Coke?
No, I haven't even seen them.
I haven't seen it either. I don't know where we're meant to get James Bond Coke.
I've seen tons of bloody World of Warcraft Pringles or Sea of Thieves Pringles.
Sure.
I've not seen a single James Bond Coke.
Yeah, I mean, if I had seen it, I would buy it.
Yeah.
100%. Yum, yum, yum. But yeah, it feels like they're marketing like a film. So again, you expect to see like Daniel Craig drinking a Heineken or whatever as part of that, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, they're approaching it the same way, but it doesn't mean the same because it's a game, and also it's a James Bond that doesn't exist yet. So I think it's a mix of those things. What was the first thing I said? The delay in the release
GTA.
date. The game was in a bad state because they were rushing, and then they're trying to market it like a film. I think those are the reasons why this gap happened.
I mean, it all makes sense. I mean, I will say for the last one, where you say it's kind of matching a film release, which I totally agree, especially with the whole song and then the title. Well, they don't reveal the title sequence for the films, but it was a natural progression from the song. I love that. I mean, I think that's been a great little breadcrumb along the way, and kind of filled that gap of there being no Bond film for a long time already. So I'm quite
Should we
pleased.
get into it, Joe?
Let's get into it.
So what's going on with the song? What happened there?
Well, let's see. Lana Del Rey, I think, was one of those people that was highly suggested to do a proper Bond film theme for many, many years. She's got that sort of voice, and it matches Adele and Sam Smith and those sort of songs we've had recently, and Billie Eilish. And I guess she just sort of missed the boat on the film, so they've said, "Come and do the game," and she's only gone and bloody well done it. Now,
But not just her, though.
only her. No, David Arnold is back as well, which was a surprise, to be sure. Pleasant surprise. But I think I was more focused on his name rather than Lana Del Rey when I saw that come out. Because I think for Bond fans particularly, David Arnold has a lot of clout, for good reason, because his scores were brilliant. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to say I'm not a big fan of Lana Del Rey outside of this song. I know about some of her songs, mainly from The Great Gatsby. Did she do The Great Gatsby song? You know, the sad one.
I'm not sure, but if it was a sad song, it sounds like her.
Yeah. I think that's what I know her most in terms of her songs. But
You don't know her song Video Games?
I would probably recognise it. She's the sort of person where I'd probably recognise a lot of her songs just from the radio and whatever. But I've never sat down and thought, right, I'm going to listen to some Lana Del Rey tonight. Even though she's a good singer, I have nothing against her. She's very good. But yeah, anyway, the lyric video came out, and I'm just going to get this out of the way first. I kind of wish I hadn't watched the lyric video, because my immediate impressions, I think, were very much influenced by it being a lyric video. I should have just waited for the title sequence. And I know we discussed
There was no way. That was never going to happen.
No,
though, right?
I know.
Like,
I wasn't going to wait. It was only a week later, but I was still not going to wait that long. Because I think, and we've spoke about this, not on the podcast, but some of the lyrics are a little bit cringy or a little bit cheesy when it comes to a video game song, and being a little bit too meta, I suppose. However, I think when I was watching that, not of the lyrics straight there on the screen, it was fine. It was just seeing the words come up when she was saying play or whatever it was. that
I mean,
really
you try
out.
not to. Yeah, you try not to think about lyrics too much with Bond songs. I feel
They're so stupid
It's
most
like,
of the time anyway.
yeah, like there'll be a specific lyric, and you're like, that's really cool, or that really stands out. You know, something like, you know my name, right? There's a great lyric, great lyric.
Yeah.
But they really highlight it. So you try not to think about it too much. I remember watching a review, I think it was Todd in the Shadows on YouTube, where he was talking about A View to a Kill by Duran Duran.
Oh, God.
And just pointing out how the lyrics make absolutely no sense.
It's nonsense.
Absolute drivel.
You
try and comprehend what's going on. No, you can't do it. So you can definitely get away with that with First Light. But I kind of agree. Like, you just kind of don't want to think about the lyrics too much. But when you look at the lyrics, you see that there's all these references to it being a game. And you can get away with a little bit of it. I think, like, there's one bit in I would have to bring up the lyrics, but there's one bit in the first where there's like a reference to playing, to it being kind of like a game, or Bond living life like a game, or so, there's some reference to it, and I'm like, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's a nice little nod, a nice little self-referential thing, something that makes it feel a bit unique, and it does fit Bond. But then, as you say, when you get to the chorus, and it's her going, "Will you? Will you?"
Oh my God, Lana Del Rey's here. How did we get her for the episode? My goodness.
Lana, get out of here. We're trying to do a podcast. And then it ends with her going, play. And it's just, no, that bit doesn't work. I don't want to come off too negative too soon, but I completely agree. It's just, you just can't do that. And especially with the lyric video, I don't want it in my face. Do the subtle nods. Bond can be a bit silly, can point the finger itself, but don't make your like ending hook of the chorus a reference to the fact that this is a video game. That's just like, take it a bit seriously, guys. Come on.
Yeah. Although, as I say, when the title sequence came out, and that's the whole thing we could talk about, but when there were no lyrics on screen and it was just the music, that totally went away from me. Then I was like, okay, I can actually, and it happened even just listening to the song outside the lyrics as well before then, but I can actually focus on the music and the sound and realize, oh yeah, this is actually great. You know, you can really hear the David Arnold influence. He's still got it. You know, he's still got it. He still knows what Bond fans want for the sound of a Bond theme. And it's sort of, to me, it sort of is the perfect blend between those Pierce Brosnan soundtracks that he did and Casino Royale, and the mopey, sad songs of Daniel Craig's era, where it's kind of like No Time to Die, or no, not No Time to Die, Writings on the Wall, where it's not definitely not my favourite because I feel like it sort of just doesn't really go anywhere as a song, whereas this one has elements of the sad bit or the more ballady bits, but it does go somewhere. It has that oomph to it at the end and in certain parts of it, and the chorus. So it's just a great combination, and I think the more I listen to it, the more I like it.
Yeah, I completely agree with the direction, is that it feels like a blend of those two, about like, what if we take that, you know, that more somber approach that Daniel Craig had and then add in the very distinct, bigger Bond sound.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if Lana Del Rey really pulls it off necessarily, because she can't go big like Adele can, or even like a Sam Smith can. Maybe that's controversial to say, I don't know. But she is just, like, her voice and natural singing style is slower. It is sadder. She can't really go bigger.
It's quite breathy.
So there is kind of a little bit of a clash there where you've got the horns and everything going off, and then she's just still singing in this more seductive way. And that can work. I'm not even saying it doesn't work here. But I you know, when I first heard it, I wasn't sure about it. Once I saw the actual video, you know, the actual title sequence, it made a lot more sense, and I do end up enjoying the song. But I think, to me, it's very sensible that they went for the approach of combining the late Daniel Craig era with the more traditional Bond sound, maybe even a more like Pierce Brosnan sound, as you say. But to me, it kind of speaks to a little bit of an identity crisis that First Light is having, where we're in a really weird situation where normally there are persistent films setting the tone for the Bond franchise, and then everything loops around that. So during the Pierce Brosnan era, you know, we had Die Another Day, I'm going to jump to. Die Another Day went a bit more out there, a little bit more sci-fi, a bit more silly, and we 100% saw that in the games. Like, Nightfire and Everything or Nothing was based on the tone and the legacy of Die Another Day, whether you like it or not. And then when Daniel Craig came in, they then made more grounded, and then Bloodstone was 100% based on the Daniel Craig films, and the gadgets were dialed down, you know, and the humor wasn't there, less characters. So usually the film set the tone, and then the games go alongside that. But First Light is in a really weird situation where it doesn't have that. And actually, it hasn't even been decided what the next era of Bond is either going to look like. So I feel like they've kind of had to settle in this middle ground of, okay, well, we can't just do Daniel Craig again because it's a new Bond, but that's our natural continuation. But also, we don't know what direction we're going to go in. Okay, what do we do? Right, just add in more Bond stuff, which is like David Arnold is like the perfect choice to do that. But it feels like they almost went a little bit more generic because there's like no identity of Bond at the moment. Bond's dead, guys. Like, he died. Like, there's no one around to be based off. So it kind of means they went for a bit more of a safer song, which means it's the fact that it's a new Bond song, that's enough, right? It's still great. It's still really cool to hear. But I think it does expose First Light as being like, okay, well, what direction is it going to go in? And the fact that there's no film to dictate that is a bit strange and unique.
That's true, actually. I mean, yeah, like the game can't decide that, right? It's not in the video game's place to be like, right, this is how the tone of Bond is going to be. So you're right. It's kind of stuck until we get something from Amazon that kind of shows what the next era of Bond is going to look like. I suppose. Yeah. No, go on.
No, yeah. I think that's. Yeah, and it's like, I don't think First Light is going to contradict what comes next. It's just, yeah, again, it feels like it had nothing to hang on. So my initial impressions of First Light was that it was a little bit bland. But then that got overridden by, oh my God, it's actually a new Bond song. Yeah. There's new Bond stuff. But I think in any other situation, like if this came out 10 years ago, it would just be kind of like the other video game songs. It was
I
like
was just-
enjoyable as an extra Bond song, but like still not on the same league as like the actual main series.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, could you name or hum or even really think a lot about the previous Bond video game songs, or were they?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay, please go ahead.
There's Everything or Nothing. You must remember that one.
Yeah, but do you
Bow,
remember?
bow, 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 bow.
Okay, good. Yeah, all right, nice.
Yeah.
Any others?
Then you've got the beginning of Nightfire. I don't know the whole song, but like because you know when you start that game, it plays the intro cutscene and it takes like 2 seconds for you to be able to skip it.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't love me quietly, love me with intensity. I think is how it goes.
Is that really the lyrics? That's
It might be hold me quietly, but they're like the first ones. It's like this slow thing. Don't love me. And then you can skip it.
yeah.
And then
I can't remember Bloodstone. Oh yeah, I know it was Joss Stone who did it, but for the life of me, I cannot think of how it went at all.
I think that was a very standard one. I can remember the cover of GoldenEye that was for the remake better than I can remember the Bloodstone song.
Really? I didn't even know there was a different version of, well, not different,
Oh,
just
yeah,
a version.
They re-recorded GoldenEye, so it is that song, but it's not Tina Turner. They got someone else to do it. It's actually not bad. It's not bad at all. It's worth a listen. Yeah.
Okay.
So the answer is yes, but I also do get your point.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, talking about it now, it makes me want to go back and give them all a re-listen just because, yeah, just out of curiosity again. But I do wonder if this is going to be like that in the future where it's, or maybe this one will hold a bit more weight because it is in that era of, there is no Bond franchise around it and no Bond films at the moment. So it stands out a bit more on its own, or whether it will just blend in with just the rest of the Bond game themes on the pile with Joss Stone.
Yeah, the Bloodstone pile.
It's
definitely the closest though. Like to me, it doesn't quite reach those heights, but it's definitely really close. But if I had to kind of think of like, oh, I went into the cinema and watched a new Bond film and that was a song that played, I wouldn't be like, oh, that was bad. But I think the element that separates the Bond video game themes to the actual Bond themes is a distinct element to them. Now, that doesn't mean distinctly Bond. That can just mean like they kind of all feel unique and interesting and quite, I guess, in your face in a way. They are distinct, weird songs for a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's why I think like Madonna's Die Another Day, we can argue if it's any good, but to me, it does its job as a Bond song. And you will again. But like that song and like, you know, The Living Daylights, even when it doesn't necessarily like lean massively into the Bond sound, I think what makes Bond themes Bond is that they're distinct. And that's why something like Tomorrow Never Dies by Sheryl Crow, that gets a thumbs up from me. Writings on the Wall by Sam Smith, another thumbs up. But All Time High, get it in the bin. Because it's like, it's nothing. And like Moonraker as well, if you forget a Bond theme, that's the most damning thing in the world. And I don't think First Light is forgettable, but I don't think it has that distinctive flavor that you really get from like a Bond theme, whether you like that theme or not.
I just can't bear the Moonraker hate. I know I'm going a bit off topic here.
I thought you didn't like it either. I swear we had this conversation.
Oh, I like it. I think I like it more than Diamonds Are Forever.
No,
I must have said
behave.
that. Right, I have to go back and trawl through hours.
We're going to have to go back. I know you are a Diamonds over Goldfinger guy, and I'm with you on that one. Diamonds Are Forever is better than Goldfinger.
Yeah.
But I didn't think you were a Moonraker over Diamonds guy.
Oh, maybe that is too far the more I think about it. I don't know.
It's a tough one, but I can't remember the song Moonraker. That's where I'm at. I can't remember that song.
We need to go back and just do a ranking of the songs at some point. Because
I guess we need to figure this out. We need to hash this one out, I guess.
Yeah, because I feel like I forgot a lot and I need to re-listen to a lot. And I imagine my opinions have already changed in the 3 or 4 years since we talked about it.
I'll be curious what we actually said about it, though. I'm sure you were like, Diamonds is better, fair enough. But I'm sure you didn't say Moonraker was better. I know you love Moonraker, but I didn't think it was that much.
Maybe not. Well, I'll go back and listen maybe. But yeah, sorry. Yeah. There's a slight tangent there, but you just triggered me a bit with the Moonraker slam. Forgettable, honestly.
It is. I can't remember it. I can remember everything.
Shirley
or
Bass is
nothing.
rolling in her grave.
Is she dead?
She's not dead yet. Sorry.
I mean, we saw her live that one time, and she's still got
kicking.
it for 2 songs.
Oh yeah, but not Moonraker.
Then she has to go sit
tellingly.
down, but that's yeah. Or maybe she did and everyone forgot. I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah. So anything else on the song First Like? I think we both very much enjoyed it. I'm a little bit more negative about it, but not because I think it's bad, just because of what it represents for the franchise. And to me, it doesn't quite hit the heights of the other Bond films. But it's just too exciting not to hear Bond music.
Exactly.
That's the main point. It's a new Bond song, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, this is a slight tangent, but just related to the music, I think this is going to be something that's going to really stand out for me with the game itself. Is just, I think we spoke about this before when we did the previous episode, but the thing that stood out to me was the music in that gameplay preview. And I just think that's going to be something that I'm going to really notice. And it's funny how you don't really think about that too much when it comes to the video game side of things, but just hearing it in that preview, and now we've got the Bond theme to go with it. I think it'll be great. I think this will actually be one of the best things about it will be the music, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes, but that's my prediction.
There's just so much music to draw upon, right? And if you've got the budget behind it, no one should get Bond music wrong at this point.
Yeah.
Like, no one should. You just get the guitar, a bit of horns from time to time. Boom, done. And they're doing that. So, yeah, completely agree. So, should we talk about the title sequence itself?
Well, here's the thing. I was going to ask you about this because I watched it and
nice.
I liked it, but I'm not the sort of person where I'm going to go through every single bit and try and analyze, what is this referring to? Is this a bit from the game? Is this symbolic? Or I just didn't bother with that. I was just like, I watched it. It looked good. It looked like I can't think of the studio's name now that did a lot of the sequences. David? No, not David. You know who I'm talking about anyway. The studio name or the guy's name. It looked like that. It looked very professional, but I didn't actually go in and sort of pick it apart. I don't know whether you did or not.
No. Was it Kleinman?
Daniel Kleinman, that's it.
Daniel Kleinman, yeah. No, I didn't either. Again, for me, it's like a title sequence. It's like, I really like that the imagery is there that you can tie back to the story, but I simply don't want to do it this way around.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same with anime, if we can change topic a bit, where like you watch an anime, that's very big in anime, right? Title sequences, and they'll show stuff in there. But over the course of watching a season, you then kind of realize and piece stuff together. And to me, that's always way more fun than actually just trying to analyze it. So yeah, for me, it's like, it's really cool they released it. I was never not going to watch it, but I probably would have like preferred to just seen it normally.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
Actually just played it with the game and then just got to experience that for the first time. I think I would have preferred that, really.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the more I think about it, you say that, it would have been great because there's going to be like a pre-title gameplay bit, isn't there? They're going to match that to the films, and it's that's a given, right? And it's going to blend into this, and that would be such a great moment. And it's still going to be great, but yeah, I guess seeing it for the first time would have been extra special.
Well, it's like I talked about earlier about the films, and they're trying to market it like the films. They never release the title sequence before the film comes out.
No.
They always do the song, which makes a ton of sense. Yes, absolutely. Let's do this. But the fact that they released the title sequence as well is a bit different. And I think there's a very good reason why the films don't do that. Because it's just way more, the most exciting part of any Bond film is when you go into that title sequence and then the song kicks in. It is just like, I am watching a Bond film and this is awesome. And I think the game should be doing the same. And it still will. It still absolutely will, I think. But like taking that moment away a little bit is a bit like, well, again, I guess I get why you would do it. But like, if the game was more finished, maybe you would have just shown it off. I don't know. Who's to say? Maybe you could have just shown off a bit more gameplay.
I feel like you want to get into a room with one of the developers in a bright light.
Yeah.
You will find out. You will find out.
What's your bug count? I want to see some reports. But no, it was cool. It was good. So something that me and you talked about this, like when it first came out, and I did send you a screenshot from it because something that stood out about this, and it goes into my next point, is that there is a shot where they have James Bond's head, and then it zooms into his eye, and then there's this really cool effect where his eye like splits out into all these different parts and stuff. Really cool. But to go into that, they've like cropped out the actor's head or the model from the game and just had it sitting there. And to me, it looks so silly, and it kind of exposed that, like, as close as the game is getting to being a film, it just doesn't look like a film. And as often as they want to keep telling me this is James Bond, I am still not convinced that he is James Bond. It still hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, that is the other thing I was going to mention, and it kind of leads on to the other, that Rules of Spycraft video they recently released, a few weeks ago now. But I watched that, and yeah, I'm kind of the same. I can't connect that, the way that character looks, to Bond yet in my mind, and I'm hoping, and I'm maybe through the story and getting into the game, it will happen, and it will be good writing. But just purely on visuals alone, it's still not there for me. I'm the same.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's like, yeah, and I think you're right. It's going to have to be the story that's going to have to do that heavy lifting. It's going to have to be, once I have the controller in my hand, is this going to make sense? But they were always, having a uphill battle with this because they wanted to tell an origin story, which I definitely don't want. But okay, fine, you can do that. But it's an origin story with a brand new Bond, which means like a ton of the Bond elements are like stripped away, and it's like a younger person. And I know they gave him the scar, but I don't care. Like, to me, that makes it worse, because it's like, well, that's clearly not the Bond from the books. What are you talking about? And then like the film Bond is also not him. So who is this guy?
Who
it's just
are
kind
you?
of like, yeah, who are you? Like the scar I always thought was a weird choice, because it's like, well, you would give Bond the scar if you wanted him to feel more like the Bond in the books, which you probably don't, because he hated women with a passion and was a huge alcoholic in a lot of ways. So you probably don't want that guy. But still, if you wanted to go that more gritty direction, giving the scar is a very sensible approach. But instead, like, no, this is like a film version of the Bond, although not really, because he's really young and now he has to earn the number again. But he's still got the scar from the books, so it's just a bit. It's all a bit weird. But I don't know how much of this is just the actor. That's the thing that I'm very unsure about. Is it just the actor they've cast, or is it just the tech? Is it just their like modeling tech? Is it just the way they render him in game that looks strange, or is it something else? I don't know. All I can say is that when I look at him, I'm like, it's not Bond. It's just a guy.
Yeah,
sadly.
I'm really hoping that changes for me. Or I've got a backup plan. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
I'm planning on getting the game on PC. I don't know how well my PC is going to be able to run it. That's fine. I'll make it work. I've just mod it. I'm just going to mod in Sweaty Sean from Never Say Never Again.
Ah, there we go. So if you can make it so when your health is lower, he gets sweatier, so he glistens when you're just about to die. You just slip and slide.
You know how like the Call of Duty damage effect, but it's actually just sweat instead of blood.
And then like when he auto heals, he like gets a rag and just goes over the screen.
Yeah, well, I want either Sweaty Sean or I'm just going to get Roger Moore, and I don't care if it's going to be the stories like, oh, young Bond is up here and it looks like 50-year-old Roger Moore. I don't care.
You're a loose cannon, Bond. Yeah. You'll never make 00.
We'll make it work. So I've got a backup plan.
To be fair, like, even though we're joking about this, I'm 100% down for that. If someone makes a mod where you can play as like all the Bonds in this game, that sounds amazing. 100% do that. That would be incredibly cool.
I was thinking about this earlier because, as we've seen with when we were doing the what do they call it? The Le Chiffre bonus mission thing. I can't remember what they called those special missions, but not long after that, they did one with Bruce Lee, if you recall, and that kind of tells me, okay, they do have real people, or they have real likenesses in their games. They go out and get the license or the rights to do
Bruce Lee?
They had Bruce Lee as one of the targets.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember hearing about Sean Bean.
Oh, and Eminem as well, I think, was one.
Really?
Yeah. So
why? Wow. Okay.
With that in mind, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they can somehow get Pierce Brosnan's likeness, and George Lazenby will do it. He needs the money. And,
Yeah.
I don't know, consult the families of Sean Connery and Roger Moore to get them. It might happen, and if not, modders will do it for us.
Modders will definitely do it, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I'm surprised that doesn't really exist with other games. Maybe it does. Or maybe that's just what happens when 007 Legends is so hated that no one wants to mod it.
Ew,
'Cause
I'm
that
not
would be
touching that.
also a very sensible... Yeah, it's like, no, thank you. No, we're good. But this would be perfect for that sort of stuff. So I'd be interested to see that. But
Yeah.
I guess that's not a good state of affairs if I'm more excited to see if someone's going to mod in Roger Moore rather than playing as this
And a
guy.
sweaty Sean Connery.
I'd rather play Sweaty Sean. If that was the DLC, I would have pre-ordered collectors. That's what I'm saying.
Look at that ray tracing of the beads of sweat. That should be the
I'm playing
NVIDIA
it
deep
like-
dive.
I'm playing it like 15 frames a second just to get as much tech on the sweat as possible.
The most realistic water physics off of the forehead.
It's going to look like an animated, like a Pixar film with the water tech. It's going to look amazing. Did you hear, though, one of the actors in the film said that the guy playing Bond should be considered to be the next actual Bond?
Oh, give off. I mean, maybe he's done a great job, and we'll find out soon enough. And I'm not going to hate the guy off the bat, but that's a silly thing to say. Are we going to say that for all of the voice actors who did the Bond games as well? I mean, I know it didn't necessarily look like them, but they voiced Bond. Stupid.
Yeah. So you hadn't heard that before?
No, I had not. That's got me all riled up.
Yeah, I think the internet reacted the same way.
Good.
But I think the reality is that the guy was just being nice, as in like, oh, he's a good guy, and I think he did a really good job, so they should consider him. I think it's just actors supporting each other.
Oh, now I feel like a monster. I just called him stupid.
Well, yeah, you didn't have to go that far, to be fair. You could have just said no thank you, but no, you did call him stupid.
Fool.
Yeah. But yeah, again, people didn't react well to that. But, again, we can't talk about this stuff until the game is out.
We cannot.
Really, we just don't know, sadly.
And I hope to be proven wrong by lots of what I'm saying here. So I'm still optimistic.
I think, well, that's the thing, right? Ultimately, there's a lot of stuff that I can point holes at, but that's true for anything I like. I guess that's part of the fun. But I think ultimately what has happened for me that, I described how I was feeling pretty bad about the game. I was kind of on the way down, less hype about it, quite concerned about it. But from the song coming out up to now, that has kind of turned around quite a lot.
Good.
And it has just been like, it's really close. We're really close to the game coming out. It is a new James Bond game. The song is good. I am enjoying it. It's going to be cool to see. And I think I'm getting very excited to play it. And I think just a bit of time was needed. And just seeing those distinct Bond elements, I am still... Whether I think the game is going to be really good or not, I don't know. But I'm definitely very excited to play it at this stage.
Yeah, same. I would say I'm a very muted excitement. Like, these podcast recordings are the most excited I get talking to you about it, because I don't really talk to anyone else about it. But that's because I'm just so content with just leaving it until I'm there playing the game. And I think when that point happens and I can really invest time and actually get into the world again of Bond, whatever this new world of Bond looks like, with the new characters and whatnot, and new ways that they will look. But that will be great, and I know I'll really look forward to it. But it's just right now I'm a little bit more muted, a little bit more measured. I'm not there reacting to every video that comes out and going in and deep diving all these nuggets of information. I'm happy with just seeing it there and then getting to experience it on May the 27th or whenever it is.
Yeah, I think we're just ready by this point.
Yeah.
Right? We're just ready to play.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But I will mention that there was a round of previews that came out. Joe, you've said to me before we recorded this that you have ignored those.
Ignored.
No thank you. Not going to read any of that. I looked at them a little bit. They did show off new gameplay, but the one video I did watch didn't go into a ton of details due to lack of spoilers. But, ultimately it was very positive what people are saying there.
Good.
But also I take that with a grain of salt. because they got a load of Bond influencers and shipped them to a place to play the new Bond game and probably gave them some Bond Coke. I don't know. And
Damn them.
yes, they're probably going to say it's pretty good. But like, again, for me, it doesn't really prove something either way. It just kind of got me excited because they are showing new stuff from the game. But I didn't want to go too deep into it, despite everything I said, because we're so close at this point. But yeah, again, it's cool that a load of people are saying it's good. Again, all the previews were positive, but I don't think it really changes anything in terms of like, oh, they played the first mission and they did some stealth kills and it looks pretty nice. It's like, okay, cool, right, great. Still doesn't address the concerns. It's just kind of exciting to see more stuff. But again, I've tried to avoid it just because I don't want to know, really. So yeah.
And we're not bitter at all about, not having any invite, even though we clearly are the biggest Bond podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to tell you, Joe. I did get invited, but I was busy. So I just said for the both of us, we can't do it. We're busy, I'm afraid.
I was busy too, actually. Yeah.
Oh, were you? Yeah, you had that thing.
Yeah, I had that thing going on. So sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I didn't want to go.
You on that cruise, I think.
I was on the cruise. Yeah.
Not the virus cruise.
No,
a different one.
No, I just want to make that clear. Lots of hubbub about cruises are death ships, not the ones I've been on.
No,
just full of very, very delicate old people. Okay.
Yeah.
Not necessarily death.
No, people close to death,
close
not
to
dying in that moment,
living out their days until they die.
Yeah, which is what you're doing as well.
Exactly. I'm thriving.
Okay. So here's the golden question. Have you pre-ordered the game?
No. I still haven't pre-ordered.
Just not fast.
No, I am going to. I don't know. When is like the cutoff point to pre-order? Is there a cutoff point?
It'll be right. I mean, I guess if you're doing PC, I guess it's day of or the day before. I suppose probably midnight. Whenever they unlock it, I guess. But are you pre-ordering the digital one?
Is that the one? Oh, we went through this, or didn't we? The different versions of them. Basically,
yeah.
I don't need any physical stuff, but I am going to keep my eye on the collector's edition stuff afterwards.
So that's the thing. So once the pre-order or the previews went out, the collector's edition started selling out.
Oh, really? Are they gone?
I'm assuming you can probably still get them somewhere, but places like Amazon here in the UK no longer stock them. They sold out.
Oh, no.
There was definitely, when the previews came out, there was a big push to get the game. People did then start previewing.
I was naively hoping that they would not be popular at all and then be heavily discounted afterwards.
No, well, I mean, I think that's how it was shaping up, honestly, and I don't have any numbers to back this up. I think it was those previews. It was the song coming out and then jumping onto the previews, and then that was the pre-order point for people. It was finally close enough. It was definitely coming out. People were starting to get excited. I think that it went very quickly in like a 2-week period, I think is when everyone jumped on it.
All those Calvin Dyson fans.
I know.
Damn it. They got there. Okay, then. Well, that's fine. I didn't want the stupid golden gun anyway. I definitely didn't want the stupid golden mask. I was not going to get that to begin with. So I guess, yeah, it'll be one of the digital, the one that has, I don't really care about early access though, but it would be nice to have some of the costumes, the tuxes.
So it's up to you. If you're going to get it digitally, like for the sake of spending the money a day early, I would just say go for it, really. And just do it ahead of time. Yeah. I don't think there's any point waiting until it comes out, then buying it, if you're going to buy a digital version for the same price anyway.
Exactly, yeah. And I would, he'll look wrong in it, but I do want that navy outfit.
It is a good outfit.
It's a good outfit. And when I mod Sean into it, perfection.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just content for your mods.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so I would probably just do that.
How about you?
So I have.
Nice.
I've pre-ordered the PS5 physical edition. But I was sick of all of this nonsense. We've already gone over all the different editions. It sucks. It's a mess. Get rid. No. So I was like, if I can't have all of it, I don't want any of it. So I didn't pre-order off Amazon. I pre-ordered from Argos. Nectar points.
Oh, yeah.
You know how that is.
Yeah.
But also you get the standard cover as well. No silver edition, no little icon with Bond in his little tuxedo, just the normal cover and a normal version of the game, and that's all I really wanted. So I've gone for that, and I won't get any extras, and I don't want any extras, but I get a nice normal case, and I get it on my PS5, so I'm happy.
Okay, and you get it in 60 FPS.
Yes, apparently.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. So you've just forgotten all the other noise around it. You just want something that's good on your shelf.
What's the point, right? Like, you can spend £250 and still not get everything. That's insane.
Yeah.
So trying to pick and choose the exact ones and balance it out, it's like, no, I'm just here to play a video game. So at a certain point, it's just like, shut out the noise. I don't want that ugly Amazon cover either. So just give me the normal edition. I'll have fun. And also, I won't lie. There is a small chance if I hate it, I will sell it afterwards. I don't think that will happen, but it does give me that option at least.
Okay, so quick question though. If there was a version which had everything, would that have been the one you got? And it was just easier?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
If it was one edition, if like the 250 version had everything, and I had that, I had a normal cover as well as the steelbook, and then I had all the DLC and extras, then I probably would have got that one. Yeah.
There you go. They've blown themselves of a sale there by their ridiculous mismatching of versions.
Well, I don't know how common this is though, because a lot of games do this, but it's just like, surely like a lot of people are in the same boat as me, where it's like, well, why am I doing this? Like, you just get to that point where it's like, why am I doing this? Just give me the normal version. But I'm not even that fussed about the digital version, because on PS5, it's also, if you pre-order the digital version, you get the extra stuff, right? Like, it's the same as the PC one. But it's like, well, I don't care. like I don't want it. Like, I don't know. Like, I think the costumes is nice, but I don't want them. And the early access is nice, but I'd rather have the physical cover, but I don't know. Like, nowadays, every stat you hear is that way more games are being bought on digital stores than physical. So I don't know. It probably isn't. It probably is going that way. But it's like, I'm not that fussed about the extras. I don't know. I'm the guy who buys a game and there'll be like a DLC code in it, and then I never use that code. I'm that guy.
You're like a proper gamer. Old school
gamer.
Old school gamer.
There it is.
Old gamer.
Yeah. Old. Just old.
Just old.
You're old. Listen, Joe, you get back on your cruise ship, all right? I don't want to hear it. I'm out here playing video games.
Yeah.
While you're hanging out with the elderly.
I just play bingo. No, I do more on a cruise ship. I'm gonna jump in now on my small Bond story. Okay.
Okay, nice.
We've got enough First Light stuff out of the way. If you've just come here for First Light, there you go. However, I did recently come back from a cruise, and
yes,
lots of activities on board a cruise ship. Bingo, silent discos, karaoke, and oh so much trivia. So many trivia rounds. And usually it's like general knowledge, Disney, Harry Potter. But for once on this cruise I went on, there was a James Bond themed quiz.
Oh, here we go.
And I was beside myself because it's like, finally, I can feel smart. Anyway, we got there nice and early, got a great seat, right front and center in front of the person, in front of the stage. Proper saddo. And
it's your favourite day.
It might have been my favourite moment of the cruise, but not for the reasons you might think. So, it was hosted by this lovely Irish woman who was called Kiva, and she started off the quiz by saying, "Okay, we can do this quiz with just the questions, or with multiple choice on screen as well. So, do you want this easy or hard?" And she kind of put it out to the audience, and it wasn't a packed room. There was a lot of middle-aged men and their wives who were, brought with them and forced to stay there.
Yeah, drinking the wine.
And I'd say there's probably maybe 30 people. Okay. I immediately shout out, hard. I want a challenge. I don't want any multiple choice. That's no fun.
And you were right at the front as well.
And I was right at the front.
Hard.
I was loud. And it was really only me that actually said anything. So she only heard me, and she's like, right, okay, this guy here, he wants the difficult quiz. Tom, I basically ruined the quiz for everyone else.
Oh,
So
no.
these questions ended up being, they weren't impossible, but they were definitely more challenging than I was expecting for like your everyday general quiz. And without multiple choice, some of these questions, I don't know how people would have got them. And so people just started complaining through the quiz that it was too hard, and then they were blaming me. Well, like the quiz host was like, well, blame this guy, he's the one who said hard. And it's like, what? No.
Could she not switch, though? Could she just not switch to easy?
I think she was invested, and
I see.
and I'm glad for it, to be honest. I don't mind being the bad guy if it means I get to, really stretch my muscles when it comes to my Bond knowledge.
I am now picturing you dressed as Elliot Carver, just saying delicious to yourself every time someone complains.
It was delicious. It was so good. So anyway, it was 25 questions long. I did win, right? I won the quiz.
Obviously.
I won the quiz, obviously.
No question.
I won the quiz. However, I won it on a tie break with another team. And both of us only got 22 out of 25. So I remember the 3 questions, and I'm going to pose them to you just to see, because you definitely would have got the ones I got. But I
just want to say 25 is a really nice number to use.
I know,
for
right?
Those questions as well. It's really nice.
So I'm going to give you the 3 questions that I got wrong, and I'm going to give you the tie break question, and I want to see if you would have won the quiz as well. And I'm pretty sure you would have.
There's some things I'm really good at. Like, I can genuinely list every Bond film in order, the year it came out, obviously who played Bond and the director. There are some like off by heart, but there are also very specific things I'm really bad at. As you know, I'm bad with names.
Okay.
So this is going to be interesting.
So here are the 3. First one. What was the name of Goldfinger's plan in Goldfinger?
Oh, it was Grand Slam, wasn't it? Operation Grand Slam?
That is correct. That is correct. Foolishly, I put something completely different. I put Operation Dynamo, which was the name for D-Day. So I put a real name.
Wow.
a real term. Correct. Well done. Second question. Now, I'm ashamed I got this wrong, but I did. What is the name of Elliot Carver's newspaper?
Tomorrow?
That's correct. It is For some reason, I put Tomorrow's World. Stupid.
That's that BBC
That's a
show.
BBC show. Anyway, correct. Question number 3.
Okay.
Last one that I got wrong. Which was the first Bond film where Bond skis?
So it's not Dr. No. Can't be From Russia with Love. Goldfinger doesn't make sense. Thunderball doesn't make sense. It can't be On Her Majesty's Secret Service. No, I'm going to stick with it. On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
That is correct. That is correct. Well done. I thought it was a trick question, actually, because I was racking my brain trying to think of whether... I know he bobsled, but I could not think of when he skied.
Thunderball... No, not Thunderball. No, of course not. But no, because there's the famous, skiing scene, right? Like, snow is just so...
I know. I thought it was a trick question,
film.
and I put The Spy Who Loved
Me.
Me.
So wait, so what did you put then?
I put Spy Who Loved Me.
I mean, I guess it's one of the most iconic.
And also,
the most iconic, but,
On Her Majesty's Secret Service was another answer, so I thought they wouldn't put the same answer twice. But they did. So they probably screwed me over there. You Only
Live? No, there's nothing. No, there's nothing there. Thought there might be a joke.
All right. So anyway, we both teams, me and this other table.
The 3 very easy questions is what we're saying.
And there was a tie break, and it was whoever got closest. It was one answer. Whoever got the closest number won. And the question was this:
7.
What? Correct. No. What year was the first Bond book published?
Oh, I want to say it's early 50s. And I'm pretty sure when we covered the episode of that show, the Casino Royale episode of that show, I want to say that was 1954 and came out a year after the book because they were right on it. So I'm going to say 1953.
That is spot on. Tom,
you
would have won. You would have won easily.
Hard mode, baby.
You would have beat all those old biddies and got that bottle of really horrible champagn, which I didn't drink and I left in the cabin. Well done. It was a good quiz.
What did you put?
I still got it closer, but I put 1952. I was getting my
it's early 50s.
mixed up.
Yeah, you were right there.
Yeah, no, it was a good quiz. in the heat of the moment, I was in my element, apart from those questions, and I felt like I was king of the world.
I mean, me and you on a team.
Unstoppable.
It's done.
Unstoppable.
We'll just take the bottle straight away. Be like,
Snatch it.
don't worry about reading out the questions. We'll just take that. Off we go. Have you listened to Bond Revisited? Okay.
Do you know
7
who we
hours? It took 7 hours on No Time to Die, mate. Where's your podcast? Then we'll get out of there.
No, but it was really good. It was a great little, as I say, one of my favourite parts of the cruise, because I was just so pleasantly surprised by a Bond quiz, and I just thought I'd want to include those as a few questions to you, and you passed with flying colours, so well done, Tom.
Yes. Validated.
But yeah, absolutely.
We're going top of iTunes straight away. But no, you're right. That is kind of like, I think that those were quite good questions for a Bond fan. But if you're just someone who's like casually watched the films over the years, you got no chance.
Elliot Carver's newspaper. Who on earth is going to know that?
I think the only reason you know that is because it's tomorrow. Like they called it that to tie into the name, right?
Yeah.
That's how I knew it.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh yeah, it's called Tomorrow because the film's called Tomorrow Never Dies, and it's a very delicious pun way to tie that in.
However, another one of the questions, just very quickly, would have been, what was the name of the actor who played M first? Would you have got that? You said you weren't great with names.
I don't want to embarrass myself. Bernard Lee?
That's correct. Okay, no, you would have been fine. You would have been absolutely fine.
Cool, nice. Well, no, that's very exciting. I'm glad you won. That's the important thing.
Thank you.
Because I would have kicked you off the podcast. We would have.
I know. How could I have come back
that
here
would have been
recorded?
Awkward.
I just wouldn't have told you. So, yeah.
Yeah, no.
My secret shame.
In the next episode, it's like, hey guys, it's let's do our impressions of First Light. Now that it's out, it's me, Tom, and me, Bob. All right, Bob. We've talked about this for a while.
It's Roy.
How did you find the game? Oh, I don't like games. Well, all right.
You just be quiet then.
Yeah, I'll talk.
I'll do the talking from this point on.
Oh, do we want to do any other predictions for First Light? Do we want to update our Metacritic predictions before we go? Do you remember yours?
At one point, I think I was way too high, and then I lowered it. Is that right? Or maybe I was the other way around.
From what I remember, you said 80.
Yeah.
And I was annoyed because I wanted to say 80.
Okay.
So I think I went higher. I think I went 81, 82.
Oh, I'm going to go higher now then, for sure. I'll go 87.
Okay. Wow, really?
I don't know. I just plucked that out of thin air. I don't know.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I think that's way too high. I'm going to stick with 82, to be honest.
Okay.
I think it'll do well, but it's really hard to get like 90 nowadays.
Is it?
Yeah.
What about if I go by IGN score? Do they still score things really highly?
Well, no, they haven't in like a while, to be honest.
Okay.
They're quite famous for giving like 6s nowadays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm 87. Why not?
If you want to go 87, go 80. You might be right. We don't know. If you are right, then that's good for me as well because it means it's a better game.
It's a win-win. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 87, 82 for me. I think we're both quite excited. So I guess we will be back. The next episode we record will be after we have played the game.
Yeah,
which is quite cool.
I don't know what we're going to do with that exactly because I don't want to rush
7 hours,
through it.
7 hour podcast.
But I guess we'll see how it goes and we'll report back.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
81, 87. Oh, 82, sorry.
I said
82. 87. Who knows?
Yeah. Okay, any final thoughts before we go then, Joe?
When you were talking about the cutout face of the Bond guy on that title sequence, I opened it just to remind myself as you were talking about it. It's still on my screen and it's been staring at me for pretty much like half of the podcast now. I need to close this tab. That's my final thoughts. It's freaking me out.
I assumed you opened it to use it for the thumbnail. That's what I assumed.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, then if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Just don't stare into his eyes for too long.